This is my first podcast, though. This is the first time I've ever sat down and well, I'm on this is the first time being on the other end of it.
Yeah.
I've been
How
in
does it feel?
it's super awkward, and I feel bad for everyone I've interviewed. I feel bad for you right now because I'm listening to how I'm talking, and I know how I would feel. I'm I hope I'm not fucking being a bother right now.
No, you're so good. You're so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, welcome to the 98% podcast where we hear real stories from real people. And I'm here with Jacob. So, Jacob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Jacob Langworthy. I am a professional Highland Games athlete, a husband, a father to 3 kids, and that's me in a nutshell.
That was short and sweet.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so then how do you know me, Jacob?
Well, I know you through the Highland Games. I think our first one that we were at together would have been maybe Kansas City last year, maybe a little bit before. I have a hard time remembering.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was because I didn't actually do the one in Kansas City here. I know I did your games, but I think
Mhm.
we might have met in Wichita,
Oh, maybe that's
is
what
what
it
I'm thinking.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. And Chip talks big game about you all the time too. So I know about you before I even met you, Jacob or
Yeah.
Chip talked about you a lot.
I like to say Chip is my number one salesman. He's just out there promoting me all the time. It's too kind.
No, he is. He's like the biggest salesman when it comes to Highland Games.
Oh
I've
yeah.
just been around him. We went to the Renaissance Festival here, and I don't think he stopped talking about anything Highland Games related to everybody. I wouldn't doubt if he had 20 people sign up for Highland Games this year just based off his conversations.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny too because he's in Missouri, and right now just kind of looking at thrower populations across the country, Missouri's got a big resurgence. It's very interesting. Uh, I would say in the last few years, Oklahoma's kind of been taking the cake for just growing the sport,
Uh-huh.
but Missouri's now. I think maybe it's just because of Chip. It's just he's raising the level up there.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
Hmm.
Okay. So, just for the audience out there, so if this is your first time tuning into this podcast, so what we do is I bring the guest on, I give them questions ahead of time, and they can take as much time as they want to go through them. And the goal is for you all as the audience to hopefully resonate with Jacob and his story. So, Jacob, so we'll start from the beginning. So, what was growing up like for you?
Growing up was awesome. I I guess as I was about to say it's fortunate, but it's pretty unfortunate as well. Uh, I come from a broken home, divorced parents. Um, there's a silver lining to that where I
Uh-huh.
was able to experience growing up in small town Kansas and and then in California. So I've lived pretty much between Kansas and California every few years for most of my life, and got a lot of fun experiences being a latchkey kid with a lot of freedom.
So how did you get into, so you got into Highland Games, but did you do athletics and sports as a kid?
No, I mean, well, I did like every little kid, you play baseball and stuff like that. And when I was living in California, we had the local city league. They put all the kids on a team of the same age or whatever, and they have them play basketball, baseball, flag football. And I think that's it. And you just kind of rotate that with the same group of kids throughout the entire season. And it was pretty fun. I did that. And I think I was maybe in second grade or whatever. And that was kind of the end of
Oh,
my sports career. Started skateboarding. That was kind of my athletic outlet growing up, was just, me and a board going around.
nice. Do you still skateboard?
I, I don't. I have. Well, I was gonna say I have a board. I did actually break it the other day. Probably 2-3 weeks ago now, because I have a caber in my garage, and it's just kind of laying on the ground. And I like to dink around with the skateboard and go through and do board stalls on it. And I just went up to a little board stall and I just snapped it. And I was like, oh damn. And that was the last board I got when I was skateboarding. So I've had it for I don't know, so like almost like 14 years now at this point, maybe about 15 years. And it just, I snapped it. My fat ass broke it.
Dang, that sucks. Are you gonna get another one?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am. I gotta find the right one. There's like, I want it wide, like, cause I'm a dad now. You got to get the big wide dad board.
Mhm.
Um, so I've been looking at setups online, and one of these days I'm going to get one. Dude, it's super fun just to have and like, just dink around at the garage, and like if I go to like throw or something like that, just throw it in the back of the truck, and like maybe like, after throwing it, just cruise around on it. A little something.
Dude, you should take it to Highland Games. I'd love to see you on a skateboard.
Dude, that would be the absolute worst. Is like I travel across the country to go throw, and I break my arm in the parking lot doing something dumb.
Oh, just- yeah.
I mean, like, I
Uh,
still got it. Like, I can still skate like halfway decent, but when I fall, it hurts now. And there's a good chance like I'm not going to walk away unscathed at this point.
dude, yeah, it's funny. I didn't skateboard when I was younger, but I had a guy talk me into it like 2 years ago now, I think. And I mean, last time I skated was like last year, but I went out with him, and yeah, I just went down this really small ramp, nothing big at all. And dude, I totally ate it so hard, and you don't
Yeah.
bounce back like that either, like you used to. Like I landed on my hip, and I just played it off like it was all good. I had a huge bruise, walking weird for the next few days. I was like, man, this sucks.
Yeah. It is absolutely wild, but kind of look back and like what I used to do skateboarding, I would throw myself down like 20, like a 20 step like staircase. I will throw myself down it, and I will get up and walk back. I'll run back up to the top, and I will try it again. And I can't imagine even doing that now. Like I didn't have a fear of heights. I do now. Like it's all bad. It's like
Right.
aging's getting weird.
Dude, I had a guy on the podcast earlier the week. He said the exact same thing. He's like, I never was afraid of heights. And then when I got older, he's like, for some reason, afraid of heights now. And I was like, what caused it? He's like, I have no idea. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
think is having kids that did it for me, because like I never noticed I had a fear of heights until we're in like Erie, Pennsylvania, and like it's right on Lake Erie, and they've got like this ginormous like lookout tower that I think served an actual purpose for the boats at one point in time on Lake Erie, but you can now take an elevator to the top of it, and I walk out, and I just cling to the wall the minute I get the sense of like we're actually up high. And it's a ginormous, it's a concrete tower. It's not rickety. It's barely even windy. But I was like, nope,
Uh,
this isn't good. And I peek over the edge, and I'm like, that's concrete below us. Like, that's not good. My kids are like running around. I'm like, please God, stop running. You're freaking me out. And my dad was with us, and he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I like this very much. He's like, well, let's take a picture and get out of here. And he sees my distress, and he's like, I need you to get like in that corner. Girls, get up next to him, like get up close. And I didn't want anyone to touch me. And I was like, that's too close. And he's like, back up further. And I touched the railing, and I'm like, let's go. And he's just taking pictures, loving it. And I was like, I hate this. But yeah, I don't know. I found that out at that day that I'm afraid of heights.
Dang. That's crazy. See, I've never been afraid of heights, but I noticed this the other day. Is like, so I'm someone that likes to jump out of random things really high, even still.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I was in a tree last week, and it was the first time a thought popped in it, like, you're getting older. Like, what if you jump out of this and like you actually hurt yourself? It's like the first time I ever thought about that. I was like, huh, it kind of made me think a little different about jumping out of the tree. And
Yeah.
it's like when even a few years ago, I wouldn't have questioned. I would have just jumped and been like, oh, we're all good. I mean, I still jumped, but still, I was like, huh, little hesitancy there.
Y-
So
I was
weird.
told, like, when I was probably like in like first or second grade, I was told that we're at the park climbing trees, as one does, and this old man comes by, and like he sees us jumping out of this tree, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are doing it all wrong. You're gonna break your ankles. You got to do it like a paratrooper." And this old man taught us how to jump out of like a tree like a paratrooper. So like we hit the ground and like buckle our legs and just tumble. So we're all
Yeah.
climbing 15, 20 feet, and they're just flopping down on the ground, and so I'm very confident to this day that I can jump off of anything, and I will land just like a parachute, like a paratrooper, and I'll be just fine. unless it's
That's
concrete,
awesome.
unless there's concrete below me, and I don't want to mess with that.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Okay. So so next question. So what's the biggest struggle that you made it through?
Oh man, I don't know. When I read that question, I was like, oh, I've had a ton of struggles, but is one bigger than the other? I don't know. And as like looking back on all the things I've gone through in life, it all just seems kind of small. Uh, I
Mhm.
guess just because like I know you got through it, you're fine, and you're happy. So like there was moments in life of like displeasure, but you get through it. It's
Mhm.
like an ad, right? Like you're watching, I don't know. If really any streaming service these days, you're gonna get an ad. You're like, this sucks. I hate this. I don't want to see another pharmaceutical ad in my entire life. And then it's over, and you don't think about the ad when the show's back on. And so that's kind of like where I'm at these days.
Mhm.
Like I don't look back because like everything in there,
Mhm.
all those struggles, it just made me who I am, and I'm most of the time pretty content with that person.
Yeah. Funny. I have the same exact outlook. But I like this question too because I started thinking about it because I'm always an optimistic person. So I think just like that is like all the struggles that I've made it through have led me to who I am now. So would I change any of those struggles out to be different? And no, I like where I'm at, and I think it was all necessary to become who I am. But at the same time, it's really interesting to acknowledge some of those things. So, like for instance, if there was someone going through a struggle similar to maybe what you did in the past, what would you tell them right now to help them kind of get through it?
I mean, just that it gets better. The thing is, like I tell
Okay.
people like who I've been counseling or whatever that
Mhm.
this is like might be the biggest thing in your life right now, but like like in the grand scheme of things, if you just like pick your head up and just keep progressing, learn as much as you can, learn from your mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes. Uh, these things will be smaller in the future. But if you get stuck in like in that same pattern where you're like your misery and struggle day after day, and you never really strive to like get out of that, um, then those moments of like, oh fuck, um,
Mhm.
or like they're so much bigger like in the future, because you never got away from them, and you got to have the will to progress and to advance, and that just comes with like learning from your mistakes and other people's mistakes.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I think it's a really healthy perspective. With that perspective, did you learn that from experience or did you learn that from someone?
I think that's just personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I mean,
Mhm.
growing up with like divorced parents and stuff like that, and being a rambunctious boy that like your my parents couldn't handle, so they're shipping me back and forth to each
Yeah.
other. Like that could really affect someone in like how they develop and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I just never, I don't know, I never let it like be part of me,
Mhm.
struggles are struggles, just like happiness, like isn't just like it isn't me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Where your emotions and where you are in life do not like dictate like who you are and your outcome, because we're not done yet. You could keep progressing and do something completely different. Like one day you might wake up and your life's so different that you own four kilts, and like it's just you're living and like, and you have multiple swords that you hang for displays. Like you never know what your life is going to look like.
100%. 100%. I
Yeah,
like that. Okay. So what's something you're currently going through that's positive or negative?
it's all positive. And I
Okay.
guess, yeah. Are you talking like a struggle, or like just,
It could be
just,
whatever, just what's going on in your life currently. Yeah.
oh man, what's going on? So currently, I don't know. Let me think about this for a second. Cause I got a lot of things going on. um, what's am I currently going through, positive or negative? I guess like it's all positive, but if there's a negative, it's just that like my video editing skills are not good, and it makes me so frustrated.
Yeah.
Because I've put stuff out on YouTube for like Highland Games related. I mean, it's all throwing stuff, and I'm never happy with how it turns out. Like after I'm done editing, I spent like hours and days on this stuff. I'm like, it's not that good. And I'm trying to get better at it, but like I just feel like I'm beating my head against the wall every time I go to like make a video of something. So that's like, that's what I'm going through these days. But it's a learning process. Like I get to learn new
Yeah.
things, and it's the bright side of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it takes time. I've been in that same boat with actually music stuff. So I've always had a certain digital recorder I use for all my music creation. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's way outdated. I need to get into using the software we have now, the audio interface, using all this. And like, it's been a learning curve for the last like few months. But, and yeah, there's been frustrations where it's like, why did this happen? Like, what's going on here? But it's like being able to figure it out has actually been very satisfying at the same time.
Do you play like instruments and stuff?
I do. Yeah, so I write music, I sing, play guitar, drums, bass, play all of it. So yeah,
Nice.
played in a metal band for 8 years, and we took a hiatus, and then all of a sudden got us all back together, and we're recording some new albums, so I'm stoked.
That's cool. I tried to learn to play guitar when I was like in high school. I liked music. I like music a lot. I don't really like music now. I used to like music. I
Okay.
found that I
Okay.
found that at some point, I like what I like, and I'm very rarely finding new stuff that I'm like, this is really good. I should put this in
Uh-huh.
the rotation. Everything just kind of seems like, I could take it or leave it.
Uh-huh.
To be fair, my older brother, he will send me music sometimes, and I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, this is a good song. But it's really only ever him. Like, he's the only one who ever puts me on good stuff. I don't know if that's just like I'm more perceptive to him suggesting something or spot like as opposed to Spotify. But so I at this time, right, high school age, I wanted to play music because I was into like punk and metal, and I was a little hardcore kid, just skateboarding,
Mhm.
and so I was like, that's natural progression. I got this white Yamaha Pacifica, looks like a Fender Strat. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and like the white one was like super discounted. I had like Christmas and birthday money pooled up, and I was going to get a guitar and amp
Yeah.
and all the stuff. And the all white was like discounted. My dad's like, you should get that one because Prince played a white guitar, and I was like, fuck, like
Mm.
what? And now I'm like, now I'm like, that's actually pretty sick. Prince kills the guitar, dude's
Yeah,
awesome. But like a young metalhead, like, oh yeah, dude,
yeah.
Prince, okay, yeah. But he convinced me to get it. And this is where I learned that I have no rhythm. Like I just can't keep a tune going at the same speed consistently. It's
Uh-huh.
really bad. It's really bad. So I tried for years, and I never got a hang of it. And I've heard from like other people, they're like, oh yeah, like there are some people that just can't play music. Their brain won't work like that. And then they're like, then other people are like, oh, that's not true. Like everyone can play music well if they just learned it. And I'm like, I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know where I sit with that anymore. But my my wife, she got me a mandolin a couple years ago because I like bluegrass music, and half of
Oh,
bluegrass is just,
nice.
or yeah, half of bluegrass is just like mandolin and a banjo and
Uh-huh.
bass, and that's it. Uh, I I can't play that either. I tried and I tried and I can't play. It's now sitting in a case for years. And we actually busted it out the other day because after the Wichita games, I was talking to Jeremy Irvin, and he plays the banjo, and he's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta pick up that mandolin." And I'm like, "I haven't touched it since the last time we talked about it," and but he made music sound cool again, so we busted it back out, and it was so out of tune, and I was like, "I'll try to tune it real quick," and it's got 8 strings that are like connected to each other. It's very confusing for me, so I did my best, but I don't think we're going to play the mandolin anytime soon. again, with the not being musically inclined.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah. So my perspective on that, on what I think about music is, I think it's like anything else. I think some people have. I think we all have different starting points. I think everybody can learn music, just like I think anybody could learn and do Highland Games. But right, certain people have a threshold of how far they can probably go based on just how they are, who they are. And I think you probably know that there's certain people that are like, you're going to be good, and this person's like, you're probably not, but you can stick with it. We can get you better than what you are now. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's the same thing with music. It like some people it might take a while, but I think with enough practice you could get there. But then there's some people that just have a good starting point where it's just like it just clicks. But either way, it takes a ton of work and practice to get any good at it. It took me like 2 years to play guitar because I was self-taught before I could play anything that was even remotely good.
Yeah.
And that was in the process of like, I didn't even know you had to tune a guitar. I was playing a guitar that was out of tune for the first few
Dude,
months I played. It's like, I don't know why it sounds like trash. And I broke like 3 strings, but I'm still playing it. It's like, what am I doing?
that's
It's like learning those small things.
that's incredible. I bet your parents were like, "Oh gosh, he's doing it again."
Dude,
Yeah.
they hated it. Dude, the whole first, I remember them, basically they will tell me they didn't say this. I think they did. So it could be a perception thing. Maybe it was implied. I don't know. But I remember one day after like a year or something of playing guitar, I'm just like, I kind of have this, not a chip on my shoulder, kind of like I feel like I'm getting pretty good, you know? And, and basically they just were like, nah, you kind of suck. And I remember just being like, oh, what? And it was funny because it actually gave me like the motivation to improve and get better. But I'll tell them that story and they're like, no, 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 we didn't say that. We definitely didn't say that. I was like, well, I don't know if you did or not, but that's how I took it.
Uh,
But yeah, it takes time.
it does. When I was in high school trying to play guitar, I was in a band and I didn't know how to play guitar, as like boys
Nice.
do. We're in a band.
Yep, yep, yep.
My buddy growing up, we were in the same youth group together, and he was really good at guitar. He was very good. And he thought he could sing pretty well. I never was a fan. Thought his guitar playing though was
Mhm.
badass. Um, and he's like he got our other friend Steven who plays the drums and our other friend who plays the bass, and he's like, yeah, you could be backup guitar. And I was like, I could do that. And so we practiced like maybe like 15 times or something like that, and all in the church, like multi-purpose room. And
Yeah.
he would sit there and tell me, he's like, you like play this, like hold your fingers here and just play this. He's like, then every fifth note,
Yeah.
do this. And I was like, I can't count that. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
when you hear he's like, when you hear the difference, then you do this different thing. And I sit there like a
Mhm.
robot, like a Chuck E. Cheese robot, just strumming this guitar. Uh, and I kept saying, like, I'm better with power chords. Like, give me those. Like, let's do some like real
Yeah.
music. And he wanted to do like, I don't know. I don't know if you thought we were trying to get like a Christian record album or something, but I wanted to do metal music. I want to do as heavy as
Yeah.
possible.
Yep,
I
yep.
want, I want my mom to cry when she hears it. That's what I want. it's,
Dude,
and
I was the exact same way.
mhm. I found out that I got kicked out of the band, when they had like, uh, I think our church was hosting this like as a venue, like a local battle of the bands. Uh, I didn't get notified that we are going to like our band is going to be up there. They changed the name, so they changed the name and kicked me out at the same time and didn't tell me. I just show up, and I can't even remember what the other bands like what they changed it to, but they were all there, and not me. And to be honest, I was not upset by it because I did feel like going to practice was a burden because I just wasn't good at it. So like every time it was just hard. It was like school after school. It was very difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Dude, that's funny. I played in actually our youth group at church too for a while. I was the exact same way. I was always wanting to play power chords and metal and all types of stuff. And they're like, nah, we got to play whatever Christian song we were supposed to play. It's like, okay, okay, fine. And yeah,
yeah, and
I'm sure I
my,
was a burden on all those guys.
my response was like, Under Oath is a Christian band. It's good. Trust me.
Yep.
It's good. I'm like, let's do Under Oath, but heavier. Can we do that?
Can yeah, I was in some of those talks. Like, what songs do you want to do? And I was always throwing out something like that. That's just a totally ridiculous thing. They're just like, and they were always so polite about it. Well, that's a pretty good idea, Rick. I think we're wanting to go on this in this direction, though. Like they'd say it the kindest way possible, say like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking?
We want something that people can sing along to.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So next question. So who has changed your life that doesn't know it?
I don't know if there is any. I'm a pretty vocal person that, I'm a
Mhm.
chatty Cathy. And if you've impacted me in a way, I've let you know a number of times, like
Uh-huh.
you know, like a drunk teenager at a party. I love you, man. Like you did everything. This guy's my hero. I let everyone know. So like, yeah, I don't know. There's been a ton of people though that like have done things for me, like told me something at the right time that like later I have gone back and I'm like, yeah, that actually helped a lot. That was like huge. Uh, one instance of well, my flag football team, I had a coach and I can't remember. My mom was talking to me on the sidelines during a game one day, and like I wasn't very nice. I was being rude to her, and my coach like got very serious with me. He's like, "You're going to sit out the next 2 games. You're going to show up. Your mom's going to drive you here, so you're going to burden her, and like, cause like you need to learn like manners and like respect and like it's your mother and like a whole thing." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." Yeah, and like ever since then, I've been I was a good boy mostly, but like it's one of those things like I've looked back later on and I'm like, yeah, that dude definitely hooked me up with some knowledge, real simply, real easily. A guy that wasn't my dad corrected me at the right time. Like it's like a weird thing, if that makes sense.
No,
But
it
he
totally makes
knows.
sense.
He definitely
No.
knows.
That's good. See, and it's funny because I was in the opposite camp all the time. Like, and that's why I made this question is because it wasn't until I was older when I started actually thinking about people that impacted my life and actually letting them know. Because I'm sure there were plenty of people that impacted me when I was younger, and it's like I didn't even think to say, like thank you, appreciate it. I just was kind of always in my lane, focusing on what I wanted to do, etc. And then it's like the older I get, the more I'm like, man, like people go on. I mean, we go on in life and we will never know how we impact 90 something percent of the people we encounter. And it's like, I would like to be that small percentage that actually lets that person know that, like, hey, you actually changed my life in a positive way. And I don't know. I think it's cool that you do that. That's something I had to learn for sure.
I don't, but on the same side of it, I don't know if I would want to know if I don't know. It feels like, oh, you
Really?
just put some responsibility on me. It feels like, I don't know.
Yeah. I
Maybe,
guess some people are like that. Yeah.
yeah, maybe it feels good. I don't know. No one's ever told me I've impacted them like in a big way. Besides like
Mhm.
Highland Game stuff, which isn't real anyways.
Funny thing is I know that there has been, right? And that's the thing about it is, yeah, you always do. But I don't know. I'm also the first person that'll do the same thing. If someone compliments me about something, I'll probably like, oh no, whatever. But deep down, it's like, yeah, thanks. I appreciate I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I like knowing that, I did something good, I guess, impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember where I picked this up at, but I remember hearing somewhere years ago, it was like, if like the biggest change you can make in the world is like, just go home and love your family. And, I thought that was huge. I was like, oh, that's a big piece of like advice right there for anyone.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's pretty wild how some people don't even do that. you
Oh,
know? And I feel like that should be like the number one place that you take care of is your family. So yeah,
yeah. I like them. They're cool.
they are cool.
Mo- Most of the
Okay.
time.
Well, that's why you love them, right? It's always it goes both
Yeah.
ways, right? The people that love you also frustrate you the most because you care.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I've had some of the worst arguments of my life with my family and not anyone else.
exactly. So next question. So what's a skill or talent that you could share with us?
Man, I don't know. I got talents. I'm a multi-talented person.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, so they're not good talents. Like I can juggle, but I can't good juggle. I can't juggle chainsaws, but I can juggle. That's a skill.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's a skill that I sat down and taught myself because I had a buddy growing up that like, he was always really good at kind of everything. And like he could play the guitar and he never like really practiced. He could just kind of hear it and it's like, oh, I get what this does. And so we're sitting there. That's a side note, but we're sitting there like, and he was playing the guitar and he started playing Aerials by System of a Down. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
when did you learn to play that? He's like, right now. I just thought about it. I was like, how do you do that? But like, so he's very skilled. And like, I was always a little jealous that he can do cool shit. And he can't juggle. And like, we're always like doing like circus tricks in front of our friends, like, just not like nonsense. See, like, well, we can balance on our chin and whatnot. And so I was like, I'll learn to juggle, and pretty proud of it. But I can't do cool juggling. It's just regular. Um, that's one skill.
So is it just 3, 4, 5? Like, how many can you juggle?
Just standard three, just,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Just thought I'd ask.
just standard three. I, my oldest, she's been tinkering around with the juggling because she's seen me do it, and she's like, and we had like some tennis balls floating around the house, so she picked them up and tried, and I was like, that's kind of giving her like, this how I learned is how to do it this way, and she's starting to pick it up. So I'm passing on all my unique abilities, my odd skills. But that's not even like the coolest one. I think one of the cooler ones I have is like, I can guess people's ages pretty accurately within a year, plus or minus of their actual like how old they are.
Mm.
I don't know.
So do you know how old I am?
I won't
Chip
play it
ever
on.
told you?
No, but I won't play it on command because I feel like it's
Oh,
a
you
super.
what?
I feel like it's a superpower that like any like hard up superhero that abuses his power. He gets it like taken away from something. He's got to redeem himself to get it back, and I don't ever want to lose it because it's like a little party trick that I could be like, you're actually whatever. But I'm just
Okay,
listening.
so
Really, I'm just paying attention. So like I'm hearing like the hardest one I ever got. Like I heard how old her kid was, and she referenced a president that wasn't the president of our time. And so, but I got her year. It was like 50. She was 53 years old, and she called me a witch. Like it just, yeah. She's like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's
okay.
fun.
So how could I get you to guess me then? Would that have to be off the podcast at a different time?
Yeah, it'll be off the pod, and like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and I won't like look it up or Google it because that's cheating, and that's not good.
Okay, perfect.
I just,
Okay.
you get a feeling. I'm also really
Yeah.
good about like guessing when what year movies came out, or movies or a show.
Uh-huh.
We were watching some, like, I don't know, on our TV, when we just turn it on and we don't go to like Netflix or whatever, it jumps to like random channels that are on the Samsung TV, and they have a game show channel. They have like a fucking anime channel. They have a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure channel, which is odd. But they got a game show channel, and I was watching the game show. I was like, this was filmed in 2006 or whatever. And sure enough, we looked it up. It was only I can't remember what game show it was, but it was only in 2006. And I could just tell by the like looking at the people in the crowd and how they're dressed. All the guys were wearing long sleeve shirts, like with their arm, like with the sleeves like quarter pulled up. Everyone's wearing that. All the women were wearing like layers. They were wearing 3 layers, like a big like scarf, a jacket, and a shirt. And that's what everyone did in 2006. But it's a unique skill. I don't know.
That totally is. Yeah.
I'm also good at guessing where things are filmed, like watching TV. I can tell by the trees where things are filmed. I don't.
So do you know your trees really well as far as?
No. I just know geographically.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like what it like looks like where it's supposed to look like. I tried geoguessing. Are you familiar with geoguessing?
Nope.
Oh man, it's like a game that it's on the computer, and it uses like Google Maps, and there's different like difficulty levels of this, and where like you can they drop a pinpoint on the map, or they show you street view, and you can like zoom, like you can go street view, Google around and whatnot, and you guess on a map point, like you pinpoint it, it's right here, and they tell you how close you are within how many kilometers. I'm not bad at that. I'm pretty good at it. But there are guys who take it to a whole nother level who like They have spreadsheets of pictures of bollards from South America, North America, Western Africa. Like they have like they know telephone poles, and they are good. They're guessing places like within a couple kilometers off of dirt. They're looking at dirt and they're like, that's
Wow.
Argentina. But I'm not that good. I try to be observant. It's useful to be observant and make notes of the things you see in life, like mental notes. I don't know.
100%. 100%. Okay. So, what are you learning about currently that you could teach us?
I don't know if I'm I don't know if I'm fit to teach anything, but what I've been learning a lot just lately of like just computer stuff because I've been a big anti-computer guy for a long time. And I think that's just because like I grew up with a certain level of technology that I'm comfortable with and that I can
Yep.
use. And it's like I kind of stuck with that. And now things are getting difficult. I'm having a hard time like just figuring out passwords and like just I feel like a real boomer when it comes to like using the computer. Um, a perfect example today, I was making there's like a questionnaire thing that I need to go out to a bunch of different athletes and I spent a lot of time on it, worked really hard on it. Everyone has their own little spot, space, and name like on this Google document. And I sent it over to everyone and approved everyone to be, like editors on this document. And then one of the other guys in the group's like, okay, I fixed it. And he just sent up like as an actual questionnaire with like fillable, spaces. And it's
Uh-huh.
way easier. And, and then he has the answers that come up on that Google form now go to a Google spreadsheet where it organizes them so you know who said what. And he did that in 4 minutes. I watched it. I watched him do it. He opened the document and made this thing up in 4 minutes. And I'm so far behind on stuff. And so like I'm trying to figure out how to just be generally better with computers. And uh I want to own more of my own technology instead of like I don't know, like leasing it out to the big tech companies is what they say.
Uh-huh.
So I've
Yep.
been researching NAS. Do you know what a NAS is?
No idea.
Oh, oh gosh, dang it! It's a networked attached storage system, and I think that's what it stands for. Could be wrong. Pretty new into NASs, but it's just like a little cloud server for your own stuff, and like you don't have to pay like money to Google and Dropbox or whatever. OneDrive, that's the one I use. OneDrive.
Yep.
You don't have to pay money every month because like you just have all the storage yourself. And if you're clever enough and
Mhm.
understand how computers work enough, you can now send that everywhere in the world. You can remotely access your files on your own enclosed system. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
So I'm deep diving how to, smart home my house and my life without, buying into the big tech overlords, just so I can stay like current on what people are doing with the technology. I don't want to end up in 20 years like not being able to use the hollow phone or whatever we're using.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but again, can I
Feel ya.
teach can I teach anyone how to do any of that or anything about it? Nah, not really. One of these days maybe, but I
Pretty
got
good. So one
I
of the
got a
highest, huh?
I said I got a lot of interest. So like it's just a matter like of what week, what month we're in, whether or not I'm going deep on something. But
It's
you
funny.
know,
I'm the exact same way though. Like I just have a bunch, like I wouldn't say a ton of interest, but the interest that I'm in, I go way deep in, but only for a certain period of time. It's like enough to like really get my feet wet, really immerse myself, go kind of all in, almost obsessive, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, I'm ready to do something else. And I always seem to come back to it. But yeah, I have just a few different things that I'm doing all the time that just swap from place to place. Yeah.
yeah, it's one of like the biggest curses of life is just like either that like we can't live longer or it's like maybe it's just we can't do more. I want to do so much more, but I am one person and I am not good with a
Mhm.
lot of things. So like I'm always having to like try to like figure it out and like get by. But
Yeah. What are you doing for fun, Jacob?
Man, it's no fun. There's no fun in my life. It's all doing.
No, there's fun. You
So
got
okay,
fun. What are you doing for fun?
I mean, I guess in like the real zen of it all, right? Like I find
Okay.
fun
Yeah.
in everything, right?
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but kind of like my big thing is I like second kind of fun. I like that hard shit, right? I want it to
Okay.
be a little exhausting. I want it to be actually almost really not fun while it's happening, but I can look when it's
Mhm.
over and be like, that was done correct and you had fun doing it and yay. But yeah, I mean, everything I do, man, it's like it's either Highland Games related or like my kids like
Mhm.
sports or like their homeschooling and just stuff like that. So like, is it fun? No. I don't go to the movies. I don't go walk for recreation. Like
Yeah.
when I take a stroll in the park, it's from my truck to where I'm going to start throwing and then I'm there for the next 2 hours, putting in that work so I can have a good time at the games next month. Like that's,
Uh,
I stay in the second type of fun. I don't dip into that third type. That's actually really not fun at all and actually dangerous. If there even is a third type, I don't know.
yeah. Well, so and I think we need to go into this for sure. I think this is as good a time as any. But like, so because there's gonna be a lot of people that are watching this that know you from the Highland Games. So
Yeah.
since you mentioned Highland Games for fun, so like, what got you into the Highland Games, and what are you still doing with that?
Oh, okay. So how I got into the Highland Games, man, I didn't start lifting weights until I was like 21, maybe. Cause like everything up until then was like, I was just a skateboarder. I weighed, weigh 165 pounds and I skateboarded every day, all day. That's what I did. Um, and then you get older, you move back to Kansas. So you're not in like California, not in the Mecca of skateboarding anymore. So you kind of like quit off that. Um, I was living in Wyoming at the time. I worked at this store that they opened up a new spot, and so I transferred states to live in Wyoming, and all my friends there started like bodybuilding, and they're all big bodybuilders, and I was like, oh, I'll just go lift with you guys. I'm gonna get fucking jacked. It's gonna be awesome. And then I found like the need to compete. I never had this like need growing up. Other kids get it and they play football and, lacrosse and things like that, and they can have a competitive outlet. I've never had a competitive outlet. So it wasn't until I got to like adulthood where I was like, oh, I kind of want to beat someone. Like, I don't know. I need to do
Yeah.
something. So I was looking in cause like we were into bodybuilding. That's like what we all talked about and kind of what we did every night. And, I looked at like bodybuilding shows and I was like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think these are my people. I think I might just like lifting weights. And then like looking into it, you find out about CrossFit because everyone was talking about CrossFit in, 2011. Um, yeah. So then you find out like that leads you to strength sports and, with strength sports, I found the Barbell Brigade, which I don't know if they're doing much on the internet anymore, but they were like a gym. And for those who don't know, they were a gym in California and they would do like YouTube content, um, like vlogs. And, they had like it was kind of before podcast too, where they had like their own like little barbell talk show. And they
Mhm.
had the two-time world champion, Matt Vincent, two-time Highland Games world championship. Champion Matt Vincent, he was on there, and they were all like talking about this guy, like, "Oh, dude, you're so strong!" Like they're like, there's gushing over like his guy's athletic ability, and I was like, "What does he do?" Because he's not a power lifter, and he's not a
Mhm.
strong man, and it's like, "Oh, he does Highland Games," and I was like, "Okay." And Matt Vincent was a very compelling figure at the time, and I was like, "I want to just do what that guy did. He seems to fucking have it all figured out." And but really, like the thing that was like, I thought Matt Vincent was pretty cool, but then he did a podcast with Eddie Cohen, like the goat of powerlifting, right? And this was kind of Matt's like best spiel on the Highland Games he's ever given, where he's pretty much, it was one of the best things. You've called it like one of the best things he's ever done in his life, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Like this is top tier for this guy. I think now he's changed his stance on that, and he might say it was a failure or something. I don't know, but he definitely spoke highly enough of it that I was like, I'll sign up for it. And it also even worked out that the guy, one of our drummer in our band, uh, he was living in North Carolina at the time, and he signed up for Highland Games the same day as me. We both posted about it, and we're like, it was like that Spider-Man meme where we're like, oh, you're doing it too.
Yeah.
And so I signed up for one in Topeka. It was my first games, the Topeka Classic Highland Games. I got beat. I got second, so I didn't get beat too bad. But like, even before that, like I was looking up all the events, like trying to learn as much as I can. And it's like I found a stone that I thought was good, and I was just hucking that all day, every day. I didn't have a hammer, didn't have weights, didn't have a caber, barely had a kilt. Finally got a kilt, and so my stones were halfway decent. Actually, I had a hard time for years to catch up to that open stone, and it was like I think it was like 48 or something like that. Someone can look it up and tell me I'm wrong, but it was halfway decent. And anyways, I got second, got the Highland bug, and I said, I think maybe after my second games, I was like, I'm going to do this forever. This is the thing that I'm going to do now. And so I competed as an amateur, put on a lot of weight. I got pretty fat. I mean, not like crazy fat. Like for being a skateboarder who weighs 165, 170 pounds, like my entire life, being 250 was big. Like I was like
Mhm.
wheezing, just like picking stuff up off the ground, and like I definitely had sleep apnea. But yeah, so like I worked my way up through the amateur ranks, trying to get good. Wasn't good. I was bad. Um, and then I don't know. I can't remember exactly like what made me go down this route, but I was like, I'm going to compete as a lightweight because in the Highland Games, right? So for those of you who don't know, it's really just two weight classes. There's heavyweights and there's lightweights. And for men, the lightweight is 200, and the women, it's 155. And I figured, I don't know, there've been some other guys in the past who are good professionals, and they could have at least at one point or another competed as a lightweight. And so I was like, I'll give it a go. Yeah, at the very least, I get to throw with new people, because a lot of the guys I started like throwing with, started coming up with in the sport, they started dropping off because they've already been in it for 5, 6, 7 years, and so they're picking up injuries, they're getting older, they're moving out, and so I'm like, most of my crew's gone, so I'll just make a new one with the skinnies. And
Mhm.
I competed as a lightweight for 2 years. I went to 2 national championships, 2 world championships, and 1 amateur men's world championship in those 2 years. Uh, I learned how to throw when I lost like 40 pounds. I was like, oh, this is how this is supposed to feel. I don't have I don't have
Mhm.
my body weight to make it do stupid shit. Like I have to muscle, like, or
Mhm.
not muscle it, but like throw it. I had to learn how to do it. Um, and I got second at 2 of those nationals, second at one of the worlds, fifth at, I think, the other 2 worlds. Um, I had a lot of fun doing that. And then, I got to a point though where, again, my crew was gone. Like we had, for those 2 years in lightweights, like we picked up a lot of really good athletes, and we were thrown together pretty regularly. We got to travel from, Massachusetts to Alaska, Arizona, and, it was very fun throwing with the same guys for all those like really kind of like top tier elite lightweight games. And, again, getting older, they've been in a long time, life things happen, they start going away, and they all kind of dropped off on the same year. And I was like, that's fine. I'll go back to the A's because I'm going to go be pro real soon. Watch. Um, so then this would be 2024. I made it halfway through the season as an amateur. Then I was like, now's my shot. We're going pro. So I did what any good Highland Games athlete does. I declared myself pro. And, got some opportunities to throw, and I've been competing as a pro for the last couple years.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And then you do a lot of coaching now too, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do what any good Highland Games athlete does. Once you learn enough, you got to share it with other people. Um, So I've been coaching, a few athletes here and there for the last 2 years, and that's been really fun. I'm learning more about myself as a thrower and just throwing in general by having to coach people, having to correct things that they're doing and find things that, work for them, work around their injuries and things like that. It's very interesting.
Like that. So, and that's actually a good segue into the next part. So, well, actually, sorry, I forgot I got one more thing before that next part.
Oh
Never mind.
yeah.
So this is like one of my favorite questions. So it is, if you were to have a story made from when you were born to now, what would that story be called, Jacob?
See, this is the only one that like of the questions I have nothing for. I'm like, I honestly too, I had a really good one. And I cannot remember what it was. I was in the shower like 4 nights ago and I was like, yes, that's perfect. And then got out of there. God, didn't think about it until I went back to look at this again. I was like, gosh, dang it. What was that one? But yeah, I don't know. Like, I try to think too, like what kind of story would it even be? Cause like you can write my life story. And, like it can be pretty funny. Or it could be really sad. Like it's just like depends on how it's written. I was reading this book a couple years ago. Well, I lived in South Dakota for a few years. I was doing missionary work on one of the Indian reservations up there. And, and my stepmom sent me this book and is about this kid growing up on the res. And like, she's like, it's very funny. I thought you would enjoy it after like living on the res for, 3 years. And, so I listened to it. And I'm like, it's this sad book about this ugly, sad Indian kid, feather Indian. Um, and, but it's also very funny because like it's very like self-deprecating, like I'm just the dumbest, ugliest kid, and like he's going through this whole thing and about why he's the dumbest, ugliest kid, and how he's okay at the end of it. And it's very funny book, but like if you tell that story a little bit differently, you're like, oh my god, this guy, it's like the Million Little Pieces guy, or I think that's what the book was called. I don't know. There was a book back in like 2005 where Oprah, like, it was a big deal on Oprah. This guy wrote a book about how like shitty his life was. And it turns out that book was fake. Like he made all of it up. It was like the most traumatic shit possible. And he went, it's like you got the Oprah seal of approval. It's like, it could be that book or it could be like sad funny.
Well, sad funny, like that's kind of like the best combo sometimes, because I feel like when good storytelling does that, you can go really, really deep without just like feeling terrible. It's like you can almost go like just be really funny, and you can go as sad as you want, and then you can still listen and read and watch. It's that's a neat combo sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too. Like thinking about this, like I got a pretty good memory. I got a pretty good understanding of how my life has played out. And I've talked with through my life story, like a number of times with people, and you never know how they're going to take it. Some people get really bummed out and other people other people see the humor in it and see that I'm alive and I'm actually fine and happy. And so like, I don't know. That's what like made me think of like that dumb, ugly Indian kid book where he's just like, yeah, it's how you present the story is what makes it, sad or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You ever seen the movie? It's actually probably a book, but I saw it as a movie. The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
Never.
Oh god, it's one of Cillian Murphy's first movies, and it's about like it's 1920, or maybe even before that, Irish like oppression from the British, and these young bucks like take up arms and fight the British, and it's a real fucking tragedy. But it's called The Wind That Shakes the Barley, and I thought that was a really good title. Always loved that title. So I was kind of dancing around something along those lines. But does it mean anything? I don't know, man.
I mean, it's up to you. You could even use that title. I mean, I had someone on the previous podcast use The Little Engine That Could.
Oh, I like
So if
that.
you could always use it.
You know, let's go with it. It is one of my favorite titles of anything. The Wind That Shakes the Barley.
Love that. Okay. See, we figured it out, Jacob. We got there.
I just wish it meant something for me.
Well, I'm sure you could tie some meaning to it, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, like, sure, I can get there. Like, I can play with the words enough to get there.
well, hey, if you come up with something else while we're going through these last two questions, just shout it out and we'll go with that.
Okay.
Okay. So this next part is actually for you. So this is the part of the episode that you kind of have the free reign to promote yourself. If you're doing anything that you want people to know, where can people find you? If there's any questions or topics you want to cover that we haven't talked about, this is kind of your time now. So you can take as much as you'd like.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna slap his in. Don't mind me. uh, First off, Free State Highland Games. That is kind of my baby. That's the thing I've been working most hard at. This is that is a Highland Games in Lawrence, Kansas on October 17th. So if anyone wants to do it, there it is. Ricky, you were there. What'd you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I liked I actually really liked the setup there. In that little, it almost felt like a stadium, like an arena, like almost like gladiator style.
Yes.
I really liked that a lot. Yeah. So I was all about that. The fog was crazy though in the morning,
Oh my
but that's something we
God.
can't control.
That was crazy. I was getting so nervous because, like, if there's fog, like, I didn't plan for that. So during, like, in my podcast, I had a guy on there. His name was Jerry Reynolds, and he ran the Highland Games in Aberdeen, Scotland for like 20 years. And, and he has like a master's or something in, international event management, which is, I don't know, it's a weird degree. But he talks about like his students when you're planning an event, like you have a binder and you have everything in there. Like, this is your Bible for this event, and you have contingencies laid out in this. So you don't, like, you write it out, you never have to think about it again until that break glass, like an emergency break glass thing happens. You pull it out and it says to do this. I didn't do that. So when fog rolled around, I was like, oh God, are we going to cancel? Are we going to postpone until like noon? How's that going to throw off? Like, are we just going to shift everything back? Like, that's going to suck. People are going to hate that. Um, but first, like, even like, I was like, okay, we can have one trig and everyone just lines up and takes their turns. Like, if the fog never clears, but I'm just sitting there stressing myself out for no reason because it's fog and it's going to go away.
Yeah.
I'm leaving the house at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sticking my head out the window driving with, like, 'cause I can't see
Yep.
anything. Like, it's just a
Yep.
line. It's like through like it's my car, my wife's in there one, and Scott Farr's in the car behind my wife, and we're just going 20 miles an hour, just bumper to bumper, just creeping all the way there. We made it there safe, but I didn't think we were going to. But that was our first year doing that, and I've learned a lot. And there's some things I'm going to do different, some things I'm going to keep the same. But I had a really good time. I was so fortunate when I found that venue, because I live in Topeka, the capital of Kansas. If those of you don't know, most people don't know where Topeka's at. But I went around all the local parks here trying to find a venue that's suitable for a Highland Games, and we got a lot of good parks and a lot of good places, but the city of Topeka, at least the people I was talking to, like, didn't understand what I was doing. And, like, I don't blame them. But who knows what a Highland Games is unless you're involved with it, or you're Scottish, or your friend's Scottish.
Uh-huh.
That's about as close as we can get to, like, just general people knowing about it. So they were not very helpful. And I was like, fine, I will go somewhere else. Went to the next town over, which is Lawrence. Say the KU is there, the Kansas University. And they have the outdoor, the rodeo grounds, and I just like, oh, I'll drive by it and see what's going on. I see their like rodeo arena because I know other people have done Highland Games and rodeo arenas before, and so I was like, I'll just take a look at it. I walk up to like the main gate and I look through, and before they had like the that fucking slats that go through the chain link so you can't see in there. It's really
Mhm.
annoying. Uh, it's really annoying now, but like I was able to see in there and I was like, this place is fucking magical. Cause right when you walk up
Uh-huh.
like through the main entrance, you're looking down into the field and it's so cool. And
Yep.
I, the minute I saw, I was like, we got to reserve this thing. We got to do this every year here. Cause like if we could fill those stands up with people, the energy would be unfathomable. It would be so good. Like it's the kind of pressure that like will make you have the best throw of your life or the worst.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So when I saw that, I had to snatch it up, and it's a little awkward because normally the Highland Games are done on a big open field and it's grass. This is a dirt rodeo arena that is mostly used for demo derbies. Um, I don't know if when you were walking around, like I was finding like valve stems and like the red like the tinted like brake lights and stuff. I found like little chunks of it all over the place. And like I found an Impala, like half of an Impala logo. Yeah. But so I was a little nervous about like, okay, what are we gonna do with like throwing on dirt? I'm like, oh, we'll make platforms. And that was a hell of a problem making those things. Um like trying to because like no one's like if you were to say like, oh, make a Highland Games, but if you were to Google how to make a Highland Games platform, nothing comes up. Not a single thing's going to come up
Uh-huh.
for that. So I'm having to sit here. I'm like, okay, do I frame it out like a wall, like with 2x4s? Because like that's big as hell. That's going to be heavy. It's I found a solution, and they're lightweight enough that I can move them, but they're also heavy enough that they won't move when you're throwing on them. Did
Uh-huh.
you like? How'd you like the platforms?
I actually liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought because the for stones and hammers, I liked it a lot, and I wasn't sure if I or sorry, in weight for distance. I didn't know if I was gonna like it for hammers, but I actually ended up liking it for hammers too because I don't do the murder boots or whatever. So I was like,
Ah,
this is fine by me. So
yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't. I felt bad because like I do want hammers to be involved because I love hammers. Hammers are great, and so I didn't want to like cut them out. Because like there is an argument of like if you get rid of hammers, or if you get rid of like um all the event types, right? So like if you get rid of like us like all the stones or all the weights or whatever, it's not a Highland Games. It needs at least one stone, one weight, one hammer, one height, and caber. That's like the minimum.
uh-huh.
And so like I was like, oh, we could do heavyweight and lightweight and just get rid of heavy hammer. That'll be easier, more convenient. But I'm like, no, I would if I wanted to if I went to a games and they didn't have any hammers, I'd be really disappointed. Um, but with the space, I couldn't do light hammer, and even if we could kick into the dirt like with those murder boots, um, it would make people throw way too far for the venue. So I said, we're all throwing
Yep.
heavy hammer, and no one uses blades. So we like everyone had bad hammer throws, and that's okay. It'll be okay. At least that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it'll be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah. So
mhm,
then, oh, I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say. So then, how do people? So you mentioned 9 Point Athletics. So how do people find you? Is that where they find you on social, or where do they find you?
Yeah, you can find us on like Facebook, and Instagram at 9 Point Athletics. There is a website, 9pointathletics.com. I think it's .com. I'm not entirely sure. It's a Google site, and I'm again not very well with computers, so I got a free Google site, and I don't like the way it looks, so I don't generally direct people to it, and I haven't updated it for this year, which is so like most of like what I do is through Facebook and Instagram. Well, my wife does the Facebook because I left Facebook in 2016 and never looked back. I
Yeah.
lost the love of it. And just like Instagram, I lost love of Instagram too. I stopped using that thing a couple months ago. I mean, when I say I stopped using it, I put it on a different phone that I don't carry around with me, and I just leave it in the kitchen and check it while I'm cooking dinner and doom scroll while I'm cooking pasta.
There you go.
But yeah, 9 Point Athletics, and like that. If you guys, if anyone wants like Highland Games coaching, as I do Highland Games coaching, we have a monthly thing where I go through all 9 events with you, or whatever events you practice for that week, and I give people cues on how to fix it and why you're doing things the way you are, how we're going to do better. Goal setting, that's a big one for me, because like I've found that I do a lot better in my season if I'm planning ahead. Um,
Uh-huh.
and not just being like, oh yeah, if you're ready all the time, you're going to be, ready all the time. I'm like, I like to know when it's coming so I can prepare. And I like to do that with my athletes too. Like we goal set, plan out our season, think of things we're going to peak for. While peaking in the Highland Games is a little weird. We do have those games that we're like, I want to do well here. So for those,
Uh-huh.
we try to zhuzh up our training a little bit as we prep for that, really hone in some weaknesses. Um, that's if everyone's practicing every couple times a week, every week. That makes it a whole lot easier to plan that out. We also have another option for coaching, and that's just like, this is my charity to Highland Games. One of my many charities to Highland Games. You send me a video, any event or whatever, and I will tell you. I can help you with it, and you can just pay me what you think it's worth. You could Venmo me $10 or nothing. I don't know, but send me videos on Instagram. Not to 9 Point Athletics. Send it to Jacob Langworthy on Instagram. I'll find it there. But yeah, that's actually been like really. I got a lot more responses from people than I thought I would. Because I don't know. I coach, and I think I do a pretty decent job. Chip likes to say I do a very good job. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
but again, my number one salesman, he is. um, I don't promote myself too much because I don't know. I'm a pretty quiet fellow sometimes. And so I put it out there like, oh, I also do, video reviews for donation, and I got a lot of responses. Like people were kind of hitting me up a lot, and I was like, oh God, like I don't know if I should have said all this, but we got through the backlog of people, and I was kind of looking back on it, like, man, like if these people, if I did my part and gave them the right words for the right thing at the right time, this is actually going to help them, and it's going to be really good. And I just helped, 15, 20 people be better throwers. It's like 1% better, but like maybe even 1%, probably less than that. But I did something, and we all want to get better at our adult hobby sport. And some of us like treat it a little bit more than just fun times. It's some of us are, it's very serious, and I like that. I like the obsession. And so I want to help those people get the results they want.
Okay. So are you ready for the last part of the podcast, Jacob?
Sure.
Okay. So this is like one of my favorite parts. So what we do is we had the previous guest create a question for you, not knowing it was for you. So obviously I didn't include this in the thing. So you got to think on the fly. And then
Yeah.
you get to create a question for the next guest. So are you ready for your question?
Sure.
Okay. So the question is, what story do you currently tell yourself that if you'd let it go, you'd ascend to a higher version of you?
Okay. There could be a lot of those things. And they're all every one of these like these things are just like, those kind of cringy moments where you're just sitting there and you're like, oh, why'd I do that? Like, if I can get rid of all those, I think I would ascend to another realm of being to get rid of those fucking evil thoughts. Like, ugh, why were you like this? Why'd you do it this way? Why'd you embarrass yourself like that at this time? but I don't know. I don't have any specific ones. It's just I would even if I can get rid of just like one of those kooky little like invasive cringe thoughts, I'll be much better off, I think.
Okay. So you can't think of any specifics, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean like we've all got our things. Like everyone's like a I'm trying to I'm just sitting here thinking like I gave a lot of pauses right there, and I was about to be like I was abused as a child and it was going to come off as like too emotional, but I'm not like I'm not trying to have it come across like that because my example is like I had some abuse growing up, but like it wasn't. I've moved way like I've already kind of like moved
Hmm.
past it in my mind,
Yeah.
because like that's the kind of one that like was floating around up there, but I'm like I already got past that. Like I don't even think about it, and it's not like a big deal. Does that? I don't know, but like if I didn't move past it, I think that would definitely be the one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helps you or not, but
I'm just following up. I like to, because I'm sure the person who left this would want you know, some
um,
specifics. I think his example was, for instance, his was um, he realized that he still needs to he needs to be able to be, his thing is to be more vulnerable, essentially. Like there's still parts of me that he said that I don't like to share with people, and he's like, but I feel like if I could, it would help people out that are listening. And that was kind of his story. So which I thought was pretty good. So I'm not going to share mine yet because I have this special thing that every 10 episodes I answer the guest question, so I don't want to spoil that.
oh yeah,
But that was his example.
that's good. I don't know, man. It's like it's also again like with that the idea of like uh, of looking back. I don't.
Yeah.
I just. I don't know if it helps me. Like I've crept in the depths of my mind before, and I found the things that I
Yeah.
don't like and the things that I should, hold on to and move on from. And like, again, they just never seem to be that big of a deal. So like, that's why I brought up like those like cringy moments. I'm like, that's the only thing that dwells in there. You can't get rid of those things. Like that's just nature, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the nature of being an insecure youth, where you had a lot of moments.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well, Jacob, what question do you want to leave for the next guest?
so okay, I didn't know that you asked these uh like they don't have time to prep them, because the question I
Mhm.
have is I feel like it takes some prep, because it's like oh gosh, it doesn't feel like a good question now, but is
I'm
okay,
sure it's great.
so okay, so my one of my all time favorite TV shows. I'm a big TV guy. I like getting
Uh-huh.
involved in a character and plot line. That shit's great.
Yeah.
And movies rarely ever do like a good story justice. Uh,
Yeah.
so one of my all time favorite TV shows is Lost. Have you seen Lost?
I have never seen it, but I understand what it is.
I don't think you do. You should watch Lost.
I mean, I've heard it's very unpredictable, but
Yeah, yeah,
I've just never watched it.
yeah. It's got a little bit of everything for everyone, and
Yeah. Okay.
there's an episode in there where one of the main characters is facing his imminent death, and like he knows it's coming, and he just doesn't know when or like where, but he knows it's soon. Um, he's a musician and he's a rock star in a band, and they're all on this island stranded there, and everyone's developed all these relationships as these seasons progress. Like a lot of crazy shit happens to them, um, and kind of like his obituary or whatever that he's writing for himself it's his greatest hits. It's the top 10 moments of his life. And I've always thought that that was like a really cool thing to do, but it's kind of hard. Like, I even like after writing that, it's like I can't think of even five of like my greatest hits that like are these the greatest hits? I don't know. Oh, sorry. And I guess maybe I didn't explain the greatest hits correctly. It's just, it's those, like for him, one of them was, uh, a woman called him a hero, and that like always stuck with him. And so, there was, oh gosh, I can't remember them all, but there were like 10 of them. And I've never been called a hero, but so that wouldn't be on there. But yeah, like just even like right now, just trying to go through some like I don't know, like I guess like my kids, yeah, like definitely like my kids are on like my greatest hits. I definitely, as of right now, I'm doing pretty well with them. Quite blessed. We'll see in the future what they turn out to be. I don't know. Probably be fine. But yeah, and I think everyone's like greatest hits will be like very telling of their life. But is that a good question for like to spring on someone? I don't
I
know.
think so. I mean, we can word it a little different. I mean, I think for them to come up with 10 things might be challenging, but
I was thinking
maybe
five.
what would make your top 5 hits essentially, and they can come up with as many as they can.
Yeah.
So, how would you like to word that, Jacob?
Okay. So, yeah. So, maybe just, like one thing, like what's one thing that will be on your greatest hits? Cause like, I just thought of one, uh, in 2022, 23. I can't remember. I set the world record in the sheaf toss, as a lightweight, and I've never felt better. I was like, oh my God, like it was electric. And so like that'll definitely be on my greatest hits.
Nice. I
I
like that.
suppose,
See, that's good. That's good.
but see, and that makes even more like what's even better about that too is like something about like, maybe because like I've always been pretty decent at sheaf. But like earlier that year, I set a heavy hammer world record, and like that was cool. Like it was the first world record I've ever done. First thing I've ever done that I was like, yes, you fucking you did it better than anyone ever. You nailed this. Uh, and it was cool, but sheaf was better. Like it just I
Uh,
wanted that one so much more. That would be mine. Setting the sheaf world record would be my greatest hits, like on my greatest hits.
I like that. And what height did you set?
That was 35 feet 1 inch. You know,
Okay.
and what's even crazier too is that like that the heavy hammer 100%, no lightweight has ever thrown a heavy hammer like in competition further than my heavy hammer at that time.
Uh-huh.
107 6.5, and Scott Farr beat it like 3 months later by like 2 feet, which that record has changed hands like 3 times in like the like that. And so like to beat it by 10 feet is huge. The record has changed hands a bunch in recent years, and he smashed it by 2 feet, which is fucking nuts. I beat it by like a foot, maybe.
Uh,
And, so, but that one was great because like I definitely did it better than anyone ever. The sheep, on the other hand, Scott Farr, again, this guy, he he's thrown as a lightweight, as a weighed in lightweight, 36 feet, maybe even 37. I don't know, but it never got verified. The bag might have been light, or the AD just never went through the process of getting the record verified. So like that one still even hit more, even knowing that someone has still done it better.
mm,
I like it's a thing that I've thought about, and like I guess it doesn't matter that like yeah, sure, it is a world record, but I know that it has been done better before. Does that make sense?
yeah.
I don't know. It's on my greatest hits.
I like it. I like it. Okay. So, Jacob, before we close out, so first of all, I want to say thank you for hopping on the podcast. I think it was a little overdue. I know Chip's been saying get Jacob on for quite some time, so I'm glad we
Yeah.
got to connect and do that. And then what I like to do to kind of close these out is I like to have the guest give one last piece of advice or words of wisdom to the audience here. So, how would you like to close this out?
Everything you do, like do it to the best of your ability. And if you don't like your ability, get better at it. Like aim high. Like everything you do,
Mhm.
aim high and do it to the highest level it can be done. Cause it nothing's worth doing if you're just willing to just skimp on it, like just do the bare minimum. Like everything's so much more rewarding when you give it everything you can, and build a build an air of quality to the things that you do. That's what I got. I don't
Okay,
know
I
if
like
this
it.
I don't know if that any of this makes any sense to anyone, but this is coming from the heart here.
No, it totally did. It totally did. It's an inspiring message. I dig it.
Well, I mean, man, like I've wasted a lot of time in my life just not going. I would say not going to the extreme of a thing, but like that's where you
Mm.
find the good stuff. Is when you take everything to its highest, furthest degree. Like that's where you really see if this like if whatever you're doing is worth it. Does it stand up to like scrutiny? Is it
Mhm.
will the market accept it kind of thing? And it only makes sense if it's the best it can be and aim for
No,
that.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, to give anything, it's a quote from Steve Prefontaine that I always like. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I always like that just because it's true. When you do your things, like if you're not giving your best, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I like it. Cool. Well, again, thank you, Jacob, for hopping on. And yeah, on that note, thank you. And I'll catch you later. Okay.
Thank you, man.